Oh, gosh. Woo! Coming in up in here. All right. We are live. Let me see. Let me make sure the camera's right and all that stuff, guys. So bear with me 1 second. Shaking the table a little bit. Sorry. The camera bounces up and down. I'm going to make sure this is muted too. Okay, just mess on that. There we go. Okay. So I can see myself over here on the laptop. Got that pulled up. If you guys could hit the like button and also share out. We are going to be talking. Let me sit back. Let's just make sure this is good. I got my little camera back here, a little phone. It's just a phone. And got the light a little bright in my eyes, but it's okay. Okay, let's start off with what we're here for. So if you saw the thumbnail and the hashtags, all that, we're here about Kentucky versus Missouri, the first SEC game of the season for the Cats. They coming off winning 2 straight there after a loss to Notre Dame, but they've played a lot better and they've been winning by 20 plus. And was tonight going to be any different, right? And that was a question today. And got to give a shout out to one of my favorite. It's my favorite morning radio show. Kentucky Roll Call on Big X Radio. Check them out. I think like my time in Indiana, it'd be like 6 a.m. they're on, but 7 a.m. or so, all the way up to 8 or 9, and they also do a replay. You've got Justin Caleb on there, Nick Rouse, and TJ Walker. Those guys do a great job. And what I bring that up is because this morning when I text in, I even said how many more. The other day I was like, how many more 20-point wins? And then today when we were talking about the lines and stuff, I think the line started out like 19.5 or 20.5 for Kentucky to win. And then also it was over under like 145.5 for the total score. And this is not a gambling page, and we're not just doing this for tips or tricks. Just giving you guys my story, what I happened today with my gambling that I did on DraftKings Sportsbooks, and that's not a promotion. That's just where I do mine from. But TJ was even like, "Hey, John, I like the over 20. The Kentucky winning, covering the over 20 points, but I don't know about the over under." And so I kind of took that advice from TJ, and I went back in and Mr. TJ, I know you don't like doing this, but I teased mine down a little bit. I took the over under down to 139. And so I 134.5, sorry, 134.5. And I hit that obviously. So it was good. It was good. So that's where we're at with that. Let's get into what happened. Okay. So tonight, Kentucky played Missouri, first SEC game of the season for Kentucky, first SEC conference game. All right. We started off, I think we were up majority of the first half. I think they said the highest score, the most I remember is like 20-something points or so, 17, 20 points in the first half. The second half, things did get a little bit dicey. And I was concerned about over-under, and I was concerned about, the Cats going to pull off a 20-point victory or not. And I wasn't for sure, but I kept on feeling like the momentum of the game was eventually going to switch. And I feel like around the 8-minute mark, some things really did start to finally change for the Cats. Let me get my first Kentucky thing. This right here. It started to change for the Cats. I don't even know what's in here. I haven't opened up this tin in a while. Bunch of junk. I have some cards. I've got a button of Tiffany. Has nothing to do with the game, guys. I just randomly picked that up. I've got some cards in here. Let's see. Let's just take out a random. This has a little sleeve on it. Let's see. Just a bunch of old 80s cards. Who's this guy? Oh, yeah. Nothing to do with the Cats, but Mr. Rodriguez. Okay. But anyways, the Cats started. Hey, here we go, guys. Here's something to do with the Cats. Who's this? Right? Kenneth Walker. Huh? Look at that. So I have him right here, Kenny Walker, sitting right in my little Kentucky tin. But they started to take care of business that second half. Sorry to get distracted there, but I tell you what, guys. Sometimes I'd like to, hey, Preston, I like to talk about different things while I'm talking about things, right? So the Cats started to take care of business. And when they started taking care of business, they went on a 14-0 run late. That's what really pushed out their lead. That's what really got them going on a different level. Let's get a little bit of excitement here. They started getting going crazy, and everyone knew in the gym, and Severe Wheeler didn't slow down, and he was going nuts. He started distributing better, going underneath the basket, coming around baseline, dropping off at one point in time, the announcers called it a hockey assist, and it was exciting. And the Cats just started really rolling. Now, I think Oscar didn't finish that hockey assist off, but I thought he got fouled. So, and he shot the free throws pretty good, at least in that possession. So, going down the line here, let me get back to solid blue for us so we don't have anybody with mind seizure things or whatever. I don't want that to affect you, but I think it's cool, you know. So, getting down the list here. Okay, let's look at I'm going to give out my first, I'm going to call this a trio award because I really feel like this team is more than just one or two guys. Each night, more than one or two guys carries this team. It's a collective like 3 or 4 carry this team. But I'm going to give out a trio award, and I'm going to try to remember to do this every single game that I do it live right afterwards. So since it was the first SEC game, I want to say that the trio award for me that I would give out definitely is Wheeler. He had 11 points, 9 assists. He just did beautiful. One more assist, he would have had a double-double. Brooks, a lot of people give Keon Brooks some type of negative like comments towards Keon sometimes, and I don't really like it because I really feel like Brooks is a solid basketball player, and I feel like his ceiling has not been reached yet. Everybody says, oh, yes, it has. I think Keon Brooks can get even more in better shape, better athletic ability. People, no, he can't yet. I think he can, especially in the system of Kentucky, and they're not done with him just yet. So I thought he played really well, and I still don't think we've seen the best of Keon Brooks. It's going to be even better. And then let's look at Oscar again. Once again, another 20-point rebound for him. 20 rebounds for him in this game. He had 13 points to go along with that. He didn't have any blocked shots, but he definitely altered some people's shots, close to the rim when he was in the game. Brown, the Missouri player Brown, who came into their game averaging like I think their most points, probably their rebounds or assists. He was leading a lot of their categories, and Kentucky really held him in check. Second half, he did start to go a little bit more, moving around, getting some more buckets. He only played like, I want to say 5 minutes or less in that first half, something like that. Picked up 2 fouls early in some part of the game. So, and so he wasn't a factor in the first half. But I think even if it was, you add 10 points to Missouri and they still lose by 17. So, it is what it is. He did try to play good. I thought Missouri played tough. I wrote that down. I thought they played tough. Like I said, it wasn't until about the second half with about a little under 8 that you kind of knew the momentum swung completely Kentucky. And the momentum was always with Kentucky, but there was a point in the game where it was like, okay, it's definitely over. There's no other run for Missouri. This is it. And I felt like that was after 8 minutes. It could have been lower. It could have been 5 minutes. It could have been, 6 minutes. But I just felt like remembering watching and then 8 minutes or so go and boom. So, but regardless of how good Missouri played, we are still a lot better than Missouri. Not just this year overall. We are 14-2 against Missouri. So the Tigers are, the Tigers. I thought they played tough. They're going to win. I don't want to dog Missouri. I think they're going to win some games in the SEC. Georgia had a really bad, crazy game against Gardner-Webb. And we can't make fun of you too much, Georgia, because we remember playing Gardner-Webb and we lost. Kentucky lost to Gardner-Webb. So we've been there and done that. So I'm definitely not going to make fun of Georgia on that. But that was a tough game for Georgia. I had them winning, and I had a little parlay going where I was just doing money lines. I wasn't doing the thing, and I was just trying to pick 6 winners. And I knew it's Gardner-Webb, and I know Georgia's trash, this year, but I thought SEC and at home. I just needed a little. I didn't care how much Georgia won by. I just thought Georgia would win by a point. Now, maybe they had some injuries, and it was my fault for not looking into that and just assuming. Maybe I haven't watched enough SEC basketball this year to notice that they weren't going to be better than Gardner-Webb. But in the same sense, I thought they should have won that game. So a lot of hiccups going on. Real quickly, if you go to ESPN, that's where I use for most of my scores or stats. I go to ESPN, and let me find I want to look at the scores that's going on right now. Let me see. Let's go down to NCAA, man. I want to look at the scores for the upcoming, or what's going on right now. Not Georgia, but Alabama and Tennessee were playing. I saw Louisville squeak out a game against Wake Forest. So Trevor Kelsey, who also used to be part of Big X Radio, but he's still part of Big X Radio. But used to be on Kentucky Roll Call. Now he's on in the afternoons. Check him out in the afternoons. I forgot what time, like 1:00. Go to Big X Radio. You'll be able to hear him. Trevor Kelsey, cool dude. Louisville fan. Nothing but respects, Trev. I'm glad you guys pulled out the win against Wake Forest tonight. Awesome that you did. Not a Louisville fan, and I don't want to root for Louisville, but after everything that's happened, Kentucky, I don't care. I live in Indiana. I like the University of Evansville too because I go to school there. That's where I got my bachelor's degree, and that's where I'm getting my master's degree from. And I like UE basketball too, University of Evansville basketball. But I've always been a diehard Kentucky fan. I go to Kentucky games, travel from Evansville all the way to Rupp Arena to watch them play. I've been to football games, basketball games. The only thing I ain't been to is a baseball game or a cheerleading event. But Trevor is a cool dude, and I have respect for teams in Kentucky right now, all the stuff they're going through. And even afterwards, like, I don't get into that much. I do get it. I do get the rivalry part of it for some people, but just not me, not right now. Like, I just don't see the point in kind of like arguing with it or anything, So I'm fine with just rooting and not necessarily rooting for Louisville, but it's respectful to see them get a win. So in a way, because we want them to keep winning a little bit, because here's the thing, guys. If they reschedule a game to come to Rupp, we want them to have their best possible record. Hello, Exit Strategy. Good to see you, my friend. We want them to come in with their best possible record to play us. So we're going to root for them to win as many games as they can and have a decent record. Also, Tennessee, Alabama, that's kind of tight right now. 38-43 in the second half. Tennessee up. Courtesy of ESPN for that score. I don't own that score nor the rights to talk about it necessarily, but I'm going to. So anyways, getting back to the game, got sidetracked a little bit there, but that's okay. That happens. What does the Cats need to work on after a great victory like that? I didn't really notice a bunch of turnovers. I didn't pay attention to that stat line, to be honest with you, that much. But what do we need to pay attention to more? I think the underlining thing that we got to pay attention to more definitely was the 5 of 17 from the 3-point line. I think Ty had 2, maybe Grady had 2, and Mintz had 1. I mean, there are possible other shooters on that bench that can make 3-pointers. So they gotta find a way to get that to start falling and dropping more. Because if not, sometimes one of these times you might be in a world of hurt. Because I think it was the Notre Dame game. I mean, we pretty well was close in some other categories, such as rebounds and points in the paint. Well, I think we were close. They may have out-edged us in some of those areas, but it wasn't by a large margin. But they definitely out-edged us in the 3-point shooting. And that's, coming into the season, when you hear Ty could shoot, you hear Grady's there, Davion Mintz can hit some. So you're going, well, that's 3 capable shooters. And, so we're still not hitting the way I think we should hit. And eventually we will. But is it going to be consistent, right? Looking at let me see if it tells me turnovers here real quick. we did have 11. We did have 11 turnovers, so that definitely needs to be improved as well. So, hey, 11 turnovers, not something to say you did great on. You want it to be under 10. Got to be under 10 on turnovers. So I definitely think, clean up the turnovers. Once again, we were averaging more than at the beginning of the season, though, and I'm glad we've cleaned it up. Or at least we had some games that we definitely went over. But I'm definitely happy that the fact that that we hit that we did not get way over 10. That was close, right? So 5 of 17 for 3-pointers. Preston asked, who do I think is the best player? Well, okay, so the best player, obviously, to me, that's going to be probably, there's 2 players that are going to be drafted relatively high. Unless there's some type of dramatic play by some other people on the team, there's 2 players that are definitely going to be drafted high. Oscar Tshiebwe, which is our big guy down low, and Ty Washington. Those 2 guys there are going to be playing, in the NBA. Shaedon Sharpe is a red shirt. He hasn't played yet, and he's there now, and I don't know if he'll ever play a game this season, but if he did and he went off, there are going to be 3 guys definitely would get drafted. There's other guys that are going to get drafted and play overseas, maybe play in a G League, but who do I think that I like the best, though, is Shavir Wheeler. I mean, everybody can talk about Ty and he's going to play in the NBA and all this stuff, but I'm telling you, tonight even proved it even more. If you're not on a Shavir Wheeler train and you're still stuck on the Ty stop, I mean, you can hang out with Ty. He can be with you on the train, and Oscar and everybody can be hanging out together. But the person conducting that train and taking the train down the tracks is Shavir Wheeler. I mean, it's his assist, it's his demeanor on the court, it's his character, it's who he is. So he to me, he's the best player. And if you didn't have him right now, like if I took Shavir Wheeler off the court and I made Ty do everything, no. I mean, you'd have to have Davion Mintz come in and he would have to mimic what Shavir Wheeler's doing. And Davion's a great player, a great leader in his own right too. But ball handling wise, and his penetration skill-wise, he's not on the level of Shavir Wheeler. No. So in my honest opinion, Preston Shavir Wheeler, but a lot of people would tell you Ty or Oscar, and they're not wrong by saying that because those guys are probably going to be playing in the NBA. Maybe they should be. Definitely longer than Shavir and than Wheeler. And so we'll see if that comes to fruition. But they're definitely rated higher on draft boards right now and stuff like that. So draft board-wise and all that, it's those 2 guys. But in my opinion, it's Shavir Wheeler. So, definitely happy to be able to come to you live. I came live with you guys for the Kansas City after the Kansas City-Pittsburgh game because that's my favorite football team. I'm coming to you live after the Kentucky versus Missouri Tigers, Kentucky Wildcats versus Missouri Tigers because Kentucky's my favorite college basketball team. I might do a Purple Aces one. I don't have anything really in here. I can hang up my diplomas or something. I'd have to get maybe some shirt. I got some shirts of Purple Aces. I need to put some of that in here because I am an Aces fan as well. So, well, I think we talked about the Missouri game. Looking forward to this weekend. I think it's like Friday. Maybe it's Friday. It is Friday. We welcome back. I believe it's Friday or Saturday. We welcome back. Check your local TV listings. Go to ESPN or wherever you go, Fox Sports, wherever you go, look at the Kentucky schedule and go to Kentucky Sports Radio, go somewhere and you can find scheduling information. But Kentucky plays High Point, welcoming back in 1998 national championship coach Tubby Smith. And that should be an interesting game because High Point played Michigan State tough tonight. I thought Michigan State would blow them out of the water. Didn't happen. I think it's like 11 or 12-point win. That's it. I mean, I think that's what it was, guys. So, in all honesty, I thought that game would be a lot more lopsided. If that's what we got to look forward to, we're in for a little bit of 68-81. So, 10 is 78. And 3 more, which is 13. So they only beat High Point by 13 points. So that's going to be something to look at. High Point was 6-7. They're 1-3 on the road. looks like their top performer was Zach Austin, maybe? Yeah, Zach Austin. He had 15 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists. And then Gabe Brown for Michigan State had 24, 7, and 1. I tell you who I'm really, and let me end this. I love looking at college basketball too, just period. But that's all. Wow. Wisconsin's eked out a win against Illinois State. Purdue didn't win by that much against Nicholson. I thought they'd win by more. It's a little bit more than that. But hey, they did play good. Zach Edey for Purdue. That center he's good. He's good. 21 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Man, so college basketball is good, but I believe my Cats, which I'm going to start calling 20-plus Cats, they're pretty darn good too. So I buy my tickets through there's a website called Guys on the Corner. You can buy them through them. You can go to, of course, like Ticketmaster, or you go to ESPN and look at the upcoming schedule. On the side there will be a spot that says buy tickets. You can also go to StubHub and places like that and go into search bar and type in Kentucky basketball or Kentucky Wildcats basketball, and you'll be able to find ticket information. Yeah, but Guys on the Corner, I think that's a little bit, maybe less. I don't know about the fees for sure. I can't give you advice on that completely, but those are some places that you can definitely check to buy tickets for the games. So, well, we talked about Kentucky, Missouri. We talked about Michigan State, Wisconsin. We talked about Louisville, Purdue, a couple Big Ten stuff in there, right? So what I want to say, too, is definitely, as mentioned earlier, Kentucky Roll Call. Check them out in the morning on Big X Radio. Look them up tonight. You can get more information about that. You can go to Twitter and type in Big X Radio. And you'll probably find some information on there as well. So pretty good stuff. Those are good guys. So, and they give out good information. So definitely enjoy it. So also Kentucky football team has a bowl game coming up this weekend, and it should be interesting. I think we're playing Iowa. So we'll see what happens with that. I think we'll be okay, but we'll see. All right, guys, that's all I have for tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching. Everybody that came in, I appreciate you hitting the like button. On your way out, if you haven't done it, hit the like button. Also, on your way out, if you want to share this, give it a few minutes, let it process, and then it'll become a video people can watch, and you can just reshare it out. I definitely would appreciate that. Thank you guys for coming in and watching, and I really enjoy just getting on here and being able to communicate with you guys about my favorite teams and what I thought they did, and giving out a trio award, and I don't know. I just love it. I just love talking sports. So that's all I have, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, hit the little bell so you can be notified next time we upload. Until next time, guys, let's go Cats. Have a good evening, guys. Later.